Art is something we all should love and admire. It helps with stress relief and getting creative. People that were artists throughout history were some of the biggest geniuses, as you can already guess. Today we are talking about history of art, not just art, but music too, because those things are the closest external things to your mind. People were using art for many years back. Art and painting was invented even before any language and was used as one. Today we want to talk about its history and mention many things, so let's get started. The history of art spans thousands of years and encompasses a vast array of cultures and artistic styles. The study of art history involves examining the development of art over time, the cultural and historical context in which it was produced, and the social and political forces that influenced it. Art has been created by humans for thousands of years, with some of the earliest known examples dating back to the prehistoric era. In ancient civilizations such as Egypt, Greece, and Rome, art played an important role in religious and political life, with sculptures, paintings, and architectural structures often depicting gods, rulers, and significant historical events. During the Middle Ages, religious art continued to dominate, with illuminated manuscripts, frescoes, and stained glass windows adorning churches and monasteries. The Renaissance marked a significant shift in art, with artists such as Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael creating works of extraordinary beauty and technical skill. In the centuries that followed, art continued to evolve and diversify, with movements such as Impressionism, Expressionism, and Surrealism emerging in the 19th and 20th centuries. Today, contemporary art encompasses a wide range of styles and mediums, from painting and sculpture to installation art, performance art, and digital art. The study of art history not only provides insights into the evolution of artistic styles and techniques, but also offers a window into the cultural and historical context in which art was produced. It allows us to understand the role of art in shaping our collective cultural identity and provides a means of appreciating and interpreting the many works of art that have been created throughout human history. The first known examples of prehistoric art are cave paintings found in places such as Lascaux in France and Altamira in Spain. These paintings depict animals and hunting scenes and were likely created using natural pigments like charcoal and ochre. It's difficult to say who the first artist was, as art is a universal human activity and has likely been practiced in some form by all cultures throughout history. However, some of the earliest known examples of art come from the Upper Paleolithic period, which lasted from about 40,000 to 10,000 years ago. During this time, humans created a wide variety of objects and images, including figurines, sculptures, and decorative objects made from bone, ivory, and stone. They also produced intricate cave paintings and rock art, some of which are still visible today. The purpose of these early artworks is not entirely clear, but they likely served a variety of functions, from religious and ceremonial purposes to simple decoration or expression. Regardless of their original intent, these early artworks remain a testament to the creativity and ingenuity of our ancestors and continue to inspire and fascinate people around the world today. These are the first work of art ever seen by human eye, but soon art will become something that everyone will admire and love. First, bigger painters will come around the 15th century, and most recognizable are Leonardo da Vinci 1450 to 1519 and Michelangelo 1475 1564. This was a big change in art, and these people didn't just do art, they were one of the biggest brains to exist. Michelangelo di Lodovico Buonarroti Simone 1475-1564 was an Italian Renaissance artist and one of the most famous sculptors, painters, and architects in history. He is best known for his iconic sculptures, including the Pieta David and the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Michelangelo was born in Capri, Tuscany, and received his early artistic training in Florence. He quickly became known for his exceptional skill as a sculptor, attracting the attention of some of the most powerful figures of the day, including Pope Julius II. One of Michelangelo's most famous works, the Pieta, was completed when he was only 24 years old. This breathtaking sculpture depicts the Virgin Mary cradling the body of Jesus after his crucifixion and is considered one of the greatest examples of Renaissance sculpture. Michelangelo's most famous work, however, is undoubtedly the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in Rome. Commissioned by Pope Julius II, the ceiling is a masterpiece of Renaissance art featuring a series of stunning frescoes depicting scenes from the Book of Genesis. In addition to his sculpture and painting, Michelangelo was also an accomplished architect, designing several buildings and structures, including the Dome of St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. Michelangelo's work had a profound influence on the art and culture of his time and continues to inspire artists and art lovers to this day. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest artists of all time, and his legacy continues to be celebrated and studied around the world. Even though he was a big artist, he is, by my opinion, just an ant compared to Da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci, 1450 to 1519, was an Italian Renaissance artist, inventor, and scientist who is widely regarded as one of the greatest geniuses in history. He was a master of several artistic disciplines, including painting, sculpture, and architecture, and is perhaps best known for his iconic works such as the Mona Lisa and The Last Supper. Born in the town of Vinci in Tuscany, Italy, Leonardo was apprenticed to the artist Andrea del Verrocchio at a young age. He quickly developed his own unique style, characterized by his use of sfumato, a technique of blending colors to create a soft, hazy effect, and his ability to capture human emotion and expression in his paintings. In addition to his artistic pursuits, Leonardo was also an inventor and scientist with a particular interest in engineering, anatomy, and mathematics. He designed flying machines, war machines, and water pumps, and conducted detailed studies of the human body and natural world. Leonardo's contributions to art and science have had a profound impact in the world, and his legacy continues to be celebrated and studied today. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest minds in human history, and his life and work continue to inspire artists, scientists, and thinkers around the world. Besides this era of art, there are lots of others artists, but these are some of the biggest. Rembrandt, 1606 1669, a Dutch painter and etcher of the Baroque period, known for his use of light and shadow and his portraits such as the Night Watch. Vincent van Gogh, 1853 1890, a Dutch post-impressionist painter known for his use of bold colors and emotional expression in works such as Starry Night and Sunflowers. Pablo Picasso, 1881 1973, is a Spanish painter, sculptor, and printmaker who is widely considered one of the most important figures in 20th century art. He is known for co-founding the Cubist movement and for works such as Les Demoiselles d'Avignon and Guernica. But art isn't just in paintings. There are many types of art. For example, my favorite book is called Art of War. In this book, the writer Sun Tzu talks about art of war, or to be more precise, about fixing strategies that can be used in modern life too. Sun Tzu was a Chinese general, military strategist, and philosopher who lived in the Eastern Yu period, which was around 544,496 BC. He is best known for writing The Art of War, an influential book on military strategy that is still studied and applied today. The Art of War is a classic text that has been translated into many languages and has been used by military leaders, business executives, and politicians to guide their decision-making. The book discusses strategies for military engagement, including the importance of understanding one's opponent, adapting to changing circumstances, and using deception and surprise to gain the advantage. Sun Tzu's teachings emphasize the importance of intelligence, flexibility, and discipline in military operation. He also stressed the need for a leader to understand the strengths and weaknesses of their own forces as well as those of their opponents. Sun Tzu's influence has extended beyond military strategy, and his ideas have been applied in various fields, including business, sports, and politics. His teachings have become an important part of Chinese culture and philosophy, and his legacy continues to be studied and celebrated around the world. And finally, there is music. Music is an art form that uses sound and rhythm to create expressive and meaningful compositions. It is created through a combination of various elements such as melody, harmony, rhythm, dynamics, timbre, and form. Music has been a part of human culture for thousands of years and can be found in almost every culture around the world. It can be created using various instruments, including the human voice, and can take on many different styles and genres such as classical, rock, pop, hip-hop, jazz, and many others. Music has the ability to evoke emotions, communicate ideas, and bring people together in shared experiences. It is often used in a variety of settings, including entertainment, religious ceremonies, therapeutic practices, and educational settings. We all love music and listen to it often, but don't get distracted by it. These days, everything is made in rhythm to make your brain not think straight. Music can be cramming and fun, but many people use it as a type of manipulation, just like in the ads. The history of music dates back to prehistoric times when humans first created and used simple instruments such as drums and flutes for communication and ritual purposes. The earliest known forms of music were likely vocal, with people singing and chanting to accompany their activities. Over time, music evolved to include more complex instrumentation and became an important part of cultural and religious practices. In ancient civilizations such as Egypt, Greece, and Rome, music played an important role in religious ceremonies and was often performed by trained musicians. During the Middle Ages, music was primarily composed for the church, with sacred music dominating the repertoire. Polyphonic music, which involved multiple voices and harmonies, emerged during this time and became increasingly popular. The Renaissance period saw a flowering of music in Europe, with composers such as Giovanni Pierluigi da Palestrina and William Bede creating works of great beauty and complexity. The development of musical notation during this time allowed for more precise and complex compositions. In the Baroque era, which lasted from the late 16th century to the mid-18th century, composers such as Johann Sebastian Bach and George Friedrich Handel created elaborate works that combined vocal and instrumental music. The Classical era, which lasted from the mid-18th century to the early 19th century, saw the emergence of composers such as Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and Ludwig van Beethoven, who created works that emphasized melody and balance. In the Romantic era, which lasted from the early 19th century to the early 20th century, composers such as Frédéric Chopin and Richard Wagner created works that were more emotional and expressive, with an emphasis on individualism and self-expression. The 20th century saw the emergence of various musical styles, including jazz, blues, rock and roll, and hip hop, among others. Today, music continues to evolve and change, with new genres and styles emerging all the time. For me, the biggest musician was Mozart, who could write a symphony in just a night. His music was amazing. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, he was a prolific and influential composer of the classical era. He was born on January 27, 1756 in Salzburg, Austria, and showed prodigious talent from a young age. He began composing music at the age of 5 and performed in front of European royalty by the age of 6. Mozart composed over 600 works in his short life, including operas, symphonies, concertos, chamber music, and choral music. Some of his most famous works include the operas The Marriage of Figaro, Don Giovanni, and The Magic Flute, as well as the Requiem Mass in D minor. Mozart's music is known for its beauty, clarity, and emotional depth. He had a gift for melody and was able to create works that were both elegant and deeply moving. His music has had a profound influence on Western classical music and continues to be performed and celebrated around the world. Despite his musical genius, Mozart struggled financially throughout his life and died in poverty at the age of 35. Nevertheless, his legacy as one of the greatest composers of all time continues to endure. I know that we went a bit of tracks for this video, but I hope you like it. In the future videos, we will mention history of wars and the best generals and their lives. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Our group really love art, and we are glad that we can share our thoughts with you, so stay sharp and be stoic. See you in the next one.